Hey guys, this is Tiggy Maximus with Tiggy Maximus Talks, episode 216? 217? It is episode 217, guys. We made it this far. Well, for 217 episodes, guys, thank you for sharing, spreading the word about this podcast on Spotify and YouTube. Also donating to the podcast. That's always appreciated, guys. Um, if you haven't already, there's a link on my Spotify episode. Takes you to the donation page of Spotify, and you can donate to the podcast. Also, there's a link on my YouTube episode, which takes you to the Spotify episode, which allows you to go into the donation page of the podcast on Spotify. So, donate, spread the word, listen, watch, subscribe, follow. So, on this episode 217, I just want to go over a comedy show at Comedy Heights in Adams Avenue, right next to Lestat's Coffee West. And, of course, there's a room where it is the main purpose is the comedy show, hosted and produced by Al Gabby, the one and only. And gotta say, he put on a great lineup on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Um, hey, I had I might have had other plans, but they were kind of low key, kind of boring. But the fact that this show was happening on Valentine's Day, and I got a couple of friends who wanted me to see the show, and I have no problem going. And I was in for a treat. And gotta say, I'm glad it came out to Valentine's Day. Got to see some new comics actually. I think I saw four new comics and saw some of the regulars that I'm familiar with. So, um, of course, just to let you know, if you pay the $5 cover for Comedy Heights, it is a $5 credit over at Lestat's Coffee next door. Great selection. I try to go through the menu to see what's good, see what's interesting, maybe something I probably shouldn't try, but a lot of stuff on there, a lot of interesting names for coffee drinks. Um, it's a life worth experimenting, experimentation at its finest. So, Al Gabby started off the comedy show Comedy Heights, Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2025. Uh, he actually had basically what seemed like all new material, which is great, and it worked. Got the crowd laughing with most of his bits. I don't think I remember anything from his previous sets that was on this one, so I like the fact that it's been a while. I like to have a little gap in time just so if a comedian is going to try new material for someone who hasn't seen them in a while, it'll be very refreshing. Because I could still remember a few things from Al's old set, but he didn't have any in this one, so I'm glad I got to see some new stuff. So kudos to Al Gabby. Uh, I think he had a bit about his wife and being married. So overall, most of the crowd, all the crowd was laughing through a good bit of his comedy set. So I want to say Al Gabby was a 9.0 out of 10. Great job, Al Gabby. Next up, he brought up Dan York. I've seen him a few times before. I've seen him at the Cackle Show at the Good Bar in Point Loma, um, produced by Victor Paz Jr. and Shane Chase. A couple of great guys. Um, so I got to see Dan York again, and he did pretty well with this crowd. Um, Not a lot that's bad about this particular guy and his comedy. I actually enjoy his entire set. So, and most of the people there, I think they enjoyed it too. He even had a bit talking about him being president out of everybody that's on the lineup. I like how he threw that one out there. Um, Overall, I want to say Dan York, 8.8 out of 10. Great job, Dan. Next one that went up, first time seeing this lady, Claire Reese. I think that's her name. Yeah. And she talked about being single, so, dating stuff, and she seemed a little intense. But overall, I think the crowd liked her. Um, I want to say that she got at least half the crowd going for most of her set. So um, I want to say she was an 8.4 out of 10. Another guy, new, I think he's part of the Laugh Pack. So he got to have some stage time. New guy I haven't seen before. He has some really funny stuff. I really liked him. Uh, I think he had one where he talked about his wife, and the funny thing I remembered was something about him and saying that his house is haunted, and it just there's a ghost that acts just like his wife. Oh boy, that's pretty funny actually. Overall, most of us said people liked what they heard. More majority of the room, honestly, they were laughing throughout most of his set, so that's always a good thing. I want to say Lawrence Francis, he was 8.9 out of 10. Um, Next is Anime Gordon. I've seen her perform um, one time before, and it was at the Gumbo mic drop show that I was at. And I gotta say, when you are an associate producer helping out with the show versus being an audience member, I guess in a way it makes it hard for me personally to try to focus on listening to the set when you're an associate producer because you are more concerned about the overall show and not just the individuals on the show. Versus now, just on this one, I was just more of an audience member listening, and I got to really enjoy listening to anime set. So she talked about being single. She's looking for a husband. Um, she talked about her type of guy. So a lot of dating stuff. And I think she talked about being Jewish too. So um, I think that she got. I felt that she got better after the first couple of minutes. The first few minutes might have been a little bit slow, and the crowd was starting to warm up to anime, but she was able to get them going with her set, and majority of the people started to like her one as the set went on. So great job, Anna. I want to say Anna Mae Gordon. She was a 8.6 out of 10. Um, Next person to go up. First time seeing this guy. His name is Jason Horton, and I guess he's from out of town, just like Anime Gordon. And I guess he does have resemblance to a lot of, I guess, actors. Uh, that's kind of cool. He kind of owns up to it. I like that. And I want to say he might have had a bit about his mom and when it comes to cooking, and how she's a little bit vague about the measurements. So and then that clicked with me because I've heard those types of you know those kind of words coming from other people when it comes to kind of generalizing like how much of something um, so when it comes to cooking. So I find that to be very funny. um, overall, I think, yeah, Jason Horton, he started just a little slow, but I think he picked up right away after talking about his celebrity resemblances, and then the cooking with the mom, um, and dating, being married. Um, so overall, crowd liked them a lot. I liked them too. 8.7 out of 10 for Jason Horton. Way to go, Jason. Um, Next person, also out of towner, and this comedian was super funny. First time seeing him, he's been touring around the country. His name is Alex Clark. Um, I'm really glad I came out to this one because I got to see some new comics, and Alex Clark was super funny from the beginning to the end. Um, I really liked his set, and he did talk about some dating in his set, and some other funny stuff in life, his stories, and um, he might have mentioned some about his job too, so or his old jobs. Um, and honestly, Alex Clark, he was funny almost every minute of his comedy set, and the crowd was laughing pretty much every minute of his comedy set. So it was probably the majority, if not all, the people there actually. So he did very well. I would say Alex Clark is a 9.1 out of 10. Um, the next one, I'm proud of this next person because I got to see her um, start out in comedy like within the last 2 years. We became friends, and Kristy Matsutani, um, she did really well. She even headlined, closed out this show at the Comedy Heights, and after 2 years, she's already doing it. If I remember correctly, I think she's already on Cash Comedy's roster too. So those are some big milestones to be on. So Chrissy talks about dating, talks about her being flat chested, small boobs. I don't know. I like the fact that she owned up to that. So, and she talked about her dog. Um, Talked about the guys that she likes to date. Um, and she does talk about prayer in her stuff. So a lot of fun stuff. I enjoyed her set. Um, she probably had a couple of new ones, jokes in there, but overall her old stuff does make people laugh, and a good portion of the people there was laughing almost the entire set of hers. So great job, Kristy. You've come a long way, and I'm kind of glad to come out and see you perform live. And honestly, I love seeing all these people perform live. So Kristy Matsutani, I want to say that she was an 8.6 out of 10. Um, all these comics did a great job. Can't wait to see them again. I would say Alex Clark was the funniest comic of the night. Did the best performance out of everybody. So honestly, I wouldn't mind coming back to the show again. Comedy Heights, they usually perform on a Friday and Saturday. So if you have time, come out to a Comedy Heights show. They always have some great lineups, and you get coffee next door with $5 credit. So yeah. Um, so I kind of want to chime in on this. Um, Lakers. So you might have heard the Lakers made a big trade for Luka Doncic, and they had to give up Anthony Davis. And so Anthony Davis went to the Dallas Mavericks. There's a lot of backlash coming from the Maverick fans, and everyone's excited about Luka being a Laker, including myself. The thing is, the Lakers needed a point guard, and they got the point guard. He could easily be the franchise player that the team can build around after AD is gone and LeBron is eventually comes to the end of his career. So um, Lakers did basically filled a big need because they really need a point guard to help set up plays, and he can shoot and he scores and he could probably do some defense, but it's going to take a collective effort. Now with defense, well, there is a hole, but they did sign a free agent. I guess he used to play for the Washington Wizards, Alex Len, big guy. Um, so with a couple of big guys on the roster, it'll take some time to kind of get everybody on the same page. So I think right now the Lakers are the number 5 seed in the Western Conference playoff picture. So they're not too far off from me, number 3. And if they end up in the number 3 spot, that's a good spot to be in. Um, Lakers don't have to be in the play-in tournament if they keep this up. They've been winning a lot the last 3-4 weeks. They've only lost one time. That was the Utah Jazz. So that was in a high altitude place. And Alex Len was just got on the team and he started playing. But of course, the chemistry wasn't there because he was just he's a new guy, new on the court, playing in real time with these guys. Um, Mainly because Alex Len is there is because the Mark Williams trade with the Hornets fell through because Mark Williams felt his physical, which means Dalton Connect, our first round draft pick of 2024, well, he's back on the Lakers, which means we have another shooter on the team. So we do need shooters, maybe one big man, and we have definitely a playmaker, point guard, and Luka Doncic pairing up with LeBron James, who still has a little bit left in the tank. So the Lakers can do some damage going forward. The previous construction of the team was not going to get past certain teams, and I can acknowledge that. But with this new team with Doncic and Alex Len and you know, I think Finney is on the team. So honestly, we have a good shot, and we could probably hang with the best of them. Let's see how this is gonna stick on the wall. So, yeah, right now I think the Thunder are still number 1 in the West, and we'll see what's gonna happen with that. Um, uh, but on the other side, Cleveland Cavaliers are still number 1 over there, followed by the Boston Celtics. So let's see how that's gonna turn out. I'm kind of hoping for Lakers versus Cavs in the final. Ooh, that'll be something. And who knows how soon the Lakers can win their NBA championship again. So, uh, oh, I have been watching a little bit of the Four Nations hockey tournament. United States, they finished um, first in the round robin with against Canada, Sweden, and Finland, all NHL players, and the Americans end up with 6 points to finish out the round robin. The Canadians, they finished with 5 points, and the Swedish, they have 5 points as well, but because they lost the head-to-head to Canada, Canada will be playing the United States on Thursday. the 20th, February 20th. And Finland finished in last place with 2 points. So it was interesting because National Pride made this very competitive, even though it was an exhibition tournament, but this made them play harder. And hockey seems to be that type of game where you can't really like take off on defense, really. A lot of pride in hockey. Who knows? The NBA All Star Game was actually divided into four teams, two semifinal games and one final game. All the games um, are basically play up to 40. No one fouls out. It's untimed. Just get the 40 points. Threes, twos, and ones. Um, Team Shaq pretty much got all like the most popular players who are still in the league. Uh, Charles Barkley, his team was consistent. The team that he drafted was mostly global stars like Wembyama, Jokic, uh, uh, and then Kenny Smith. I think he got like the third year, fourth year players, so like the young stars of the NBA. And of course, the fourth team is the Rising Stars, who had played on Friday night. And so the team that won on Friday night was going to represent the Rising Stars, which is consistent of all second year and rookies in the NBA. So Team Shaq beat the Rising Stars, and Charles Barkley's team of Global Stars beat the Young Stars of Kenny Smith's team. So there are 24 All Stars that were drafted. Um, and the Rising Stars were a selection of the best players that were second year rookies. So um, I like the format so far, but to get them to play defense is still a problem. Um, but overall, Team Shaq ends up winning the four-team tournament. They beat Team Charles Barkley. So um, of course, Team Shaq had Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. LeBron James was on it, but was he took himself out because he's still healing his injuries. Um, but honestly, when you got guys like Kevin Durant, um, was it Kevin Durant, James Harden, Steph Curry on the same team, and man, that they were amazing. Most entertaining of the four teams. So yeah, and well, the NBA will start again, I believe tomorrow, and they're gonna be making their push towards the playoffs. So I'm excited. Uh, NFL, they're gonna enter this period of hiring coaching staffs and looking into like free agents. And April will come around, and that's when all 32 teams will be looking to restock their teams with college talent out of college and replace some veterans on the team after a lot of transactions will be happening for all these teams. So I'm kind of excited. I'm curious what the Chargers are going to go. It looks like the Chargers might go defense. They might go offense, help out Justin Herbert, shore up defense. Who knows which way they're gonna go? So cross my fingers they get the right guy. So um, and I gotta say, uh, I did get the opportunity to try out this surf and turf burrito from Rigoberto's. in Miramar, and I also got I got to try again the Cali surf and turf burrito at Taco Centro. Okay, both are really good. The shrimps are good. Cream asada is good. The sauce and like some French fries, and rice. Good touches to those burritos. And you know, I gotta say, the amount of portions they give you is a good portion, and it makes me full. And I like the salsa at Taco Centro. They also have pico de gallo for you to put into your burrito. That's actually pretty awesome. Not a lot of Mexican food places offer that actually. Um, the Rigoberto salsa. I don't know why, but I think I find all of their salsas kind of spicy actually, even the green ones. So, um, and both places do offer carrots. I like that. Um, so the Rigoberto's surf and turf burrito, I want to say it's an 8.9 out of 10. I'm glad I got it. It's probably their best item on their menu. Um, I would try to order that all the time now. That's actually probably my favorite burrito to order there. uh, and then Taco Centro, uh, the Cali surf and turf burrito at Taco Centro. Again, great portions. I like their salsa. It's very good. It doesn't take away from the burrito. Um, Gotta say, 9 out of 10. Good stuff. Cali style, surf and turf Cali style. I only know two places that does that actually. The other one is actually Stars and Stripes Mexican food. So who knows? I might go back to that someday. Uh, so that's actually it for me, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Remember to spread the word to your friends and family. Also, subscribe, follow, donate to the podcast, and make this a big podcast. Make this a big deal. Hope you guys enjoyed everything I said. You might be inspired. Ask me questions on what comedy show you want to go to. I'm your guy. So, also food places. There's some places I want to try out, like that here in San Diego is on my radar, like Fortunate Son, Year of the Fortune, Inside Out, Layla, a lot of those places. Can't wait. Um, yep, you know what? I'm getting hungry actually. All right, guys. Talk to you guys later. You know the saying goes, boom. Tiggy Maximus, signing off, baby. All right, later, guys. Booyaka.